Hi, my name is Veronica Martinez Acosta. I am a professor of biology at the University of the Incarnate Word in San Antonio, Texas. I also identify as a Mexican American, first generation, and so my heart is in this work because of the support that I received from mentors along the way. I grew up in Texas. I was born in Houston. My parents actually grew up in Texas, but they grew up during a time where things were quite segregated. So I didn't learn how to speak my language, which I still work on. They would get in trouble when they were growing up for speaking Spanish. But I listened to a lot of their stories. And so listening to their stories, I learned about the challenges that they faced during their generation and began to resonate, how much they overcame so that my siblings and I could have the opportunities that we did. One of my earliest memories was my sister wanting to go to a specific university, but it would have required her to live on campus and to have room and board, and to see the sadness of her face when my parents said we just can't afford that, and so she still went to college and she's still doing great. But, that idea of we can't do that was very much, I think, has always stayed with me. So trying to find ways where I can provide opportunities for students who, like me, came from a background where their parents were very hardworking, but just didn't know how to find the resources, just didn't know how to guide their students, is where I think my work here comes into play. So I'm a program director at UIW for a Louis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Award. We are an alliance with the other predominantly undergraduate institutions in San Antonio. St. Mary's University is the lead institution on the grant, but we are in full alliance with St. Mary's Our Lady of the Lake University and Trinity University. It was the first time that the four, what I'll call small institutions in San Antonio, came together to put forward our best effort to try to address challenges that our student populations face. But even with our differences across campuses, we still find that there are many students who start school as freshmen as STEM majors. They're excited, and there's data nationally to suggest that there are underrepresented populations who are graduating from high schools and are interested in STEM. And we found by administering a survey across our campuses, so the survey went out to every student at our institutions individually, that where we were held in common was that each of us had students who had transferred out of STEM their sophomore year. Primarily, that second year was where we lost them. And that those students that answered the survey, they suggested that a large percentage of the reason why they left was because they did not feel like they belonged. The sense of belonging was incredible, because when we look at our populations at our four institutions, they are very different. But that one piece stuck out more than anything. We wanted to develop a program that would address sense of belonging, and that we wanted to do this as an alliance of schools. And so basically pulling our resources and pulling our knowledge to be able to come up with activities and ideas that would help our students develop that stronger sense of belonging in STEM. And so it was the first time that this has ever been done. Our schools have worked here and there together, but I think all four of us together working on something this large has not happened before. When we received notification that the NSF program officer, Dr. Martha James, wanted to come out for a site visit, that was the first time that we were allowing ourselves to believe, like, oh, this is going to happen. We're going to get them. We possibly could get funding to support our students. Having this money doesn't support all of our students in STEM, but it at least helps us to identify students from low socioeconomic backgrounds out of high school that show promise in STEM, and to try to offer them a scholarship and to offer them peer coaches and an onboarding for both them and their families. I want to do more. And so as far as coming here, another part of it is trying to to continue to be connected within the HSI community so that I not only offer opportunities for the few students that I can help in my research lab or in my classroom, but also to really be a voice nationally. I understand now, years later, that all of that work led to this time where I can now do the same for other young Latinos.